Hello everyone, today's class will begin in 5 minutes, so it will begin in 5 minutes when everybody is here. Thank you. Good morning everyone. We meet each other again. Today, Dr. Kevin and I will be the lecturers for today's class. Today we'll basically give out feedbacks about body treatments and also acupoints and also Bojing and also the aromatherapist. So these are the few things that will be mentioned today. Today I would like to start with a sharing, and that is over the past days we have been reviewing your homework, and I would like to give some suggestions. And that is, we hope that you can all be familiar with the techniques that we have taught you in the classes and also their sequences. All the sequences should be done step by step. So we hope that you can all remember those steps because there are some logic behind those steps so that when we are giving the scores, we can have a common criteria. And the second part is that no matter if we're doing exfoliation or facial massage or facial wash-offs, remember to be gentle because if you put in too much pressure, then it will hurt the skin and it will not be that comfortable and it wouldn't be a massage anymore. And the third part is that as mentioned last time, we should massage according to the stream and according to our skins. So it needs to be from bottom to top, and you need to avoid your eyes and only massage the areas around it and also be very gentle. So above are the few tips and suggestions that I would like to give you upon going through your homework. So be sure to pay attention to these tips when you are practicing by yourself. And so these are the feedbacks that I have after looking at the homeworks. Next, I would like to invite teacher Kevin to give some feedbacks as well. Thank you, Ms. Hong. My name is Kevin. It's good to see you all again. Now, I've been going through your homework with Ms. Hong, and we realized that there are some common mistakes in the homework, and that is the familiarization of the techniques. And I know some of the students are very hardworking and practice a lot, but most of the times I see that a lot of students are still looking at the steps and their techniques are still a bit rusty. So the clients will think that the whole treatment is scattered into different stages and pieces. So we want it to be smooth. So when you are performing these treatments or massages, you need to be sure that everything is in place and the pressure is okay and your techniques are well practiced. So practice is very important because the technique we teach is actually very scientific and it has been applied many times in Taiwan already. If you don't follow this technique, don't follow this way of pressing and massaging, then it won't feel the same. So as Ms. Thiessen mentioned, your techniques must be very gentle and it must be very close to the skin and it has to feel very comfortable. So when we see the homework, a lot of the students, whether if it's on makeup removal or skincare, sometimes you put in too much effort and it makes it a bit rough. And sometimes the eyelids are even flipped, and we need to stress here that the eyelids and the places around the eyes, then that is the eyebrows and also the area around the eyes, you need to be extremely careful and gentle because the skin there is very fragile. If you push and pull too much over there, not only will it not have the skincare effect, it will hurt the skin. So these are some feedbacks that we have from the homework. We all know that you have put in a lot of effort and you guys are all beginners. We understand it, but we have to remember that this technique should be applied in the right way. This is a very unique technique. You can't find a lot of these techniques on the internet. And this one is the one that we've tried most of the time, and this is the optimized one. So be sure to cherish this course. Most of the general salons and spas don't have these kind of courses, so it is a very chance and opportunity to learn the techniques from Ms. Thiessen. And today I would like to share the bulging that was mentioned in the previous classes. I remember a lot of questions were asked in the bulging class, and so I would like to stress that there are a few key points in bulging. I will mention those later. And also, some students asked the tools that are used in the facial bulging massage. In the homework, I see that some students use spoons or ceramic spoons. Those are fine, just avoid using tools that are too sharp, which might hurt the skin. And we've also talked about using natural stones, and those also have a good effect. Also regarding to the aromatherapist, we will also share some things as well. And we've also touched some techniques that we've taught, which is aromatherapy. Aromatherapy is pretty popular recently, and especially with COVID-19 going on and some diseases, we can use these aromatherapy to be taken as a preventive method. And in the sharing later, we will also talk about some key points in aromatherapy. Now let me give you some key points of the facial bulging. Let me start from the forehead. On the forehead, there's also, you can divide it into three parts: your forehead, your nose and eyes, and then your chin and your cheeks. So there are three different sections. Starting from the lower section, which is the chin part, which is your neck and also your chin. There are three lines, do you remember? The first line is the line from your chin to the lower part of your ear. You need to massage it from the lower part to the upper part. You need to pull it like this, so from here to here. So it is a 45-degree angle. And when we are applying bulging, you can use some massage oil, you can use lotion, you can even use some makeup products. If you can have some skincare products, it is actually also very good. So if you are applying this with the aromatherapist, you can use coconut oil or some grapefruit oil as well. Now, when you are taking care of your skin on your face, you need to make sure that the essence oil you are using is less than 2%, because your skin on your face is very sensitive. So as Ms. Thiessen mentioned, the tools we use need to be 45 degrees in angle and they can't be too sharp. So the first is you need to moisturize your face. Put on some toner, put on some moisturizers. That is the first step. That will enhance your moisturizing on your skin. After your skin is ready and absorbs some of the good essence, then it will improve and also it could look better. When we are applying bulging or when we're pulling the skins, it will have a better effect, and also it could reduce the stretches on our skin. Now, this is the first line, which is from the chin to the end of your ears. The second line is from the edge of your mouth all the way to the middle of your ear. The third line is starting from your nose all the way to the top of your ears. So all of these are moving from the lower part to the upper part through the cheekbone. So you're pulling it this way. And also the middle section, your eyes are very vulnerable and fragile. So there are a lot of neurons in your eyes. If you apply too much force, it will damage your eyes. So you need to be very gentle, very soft. If your motion is too big, then it will create some wrinkles in the back. So when you are massaging your face, remember, be very gentle. Remember to cut your nails. Be sure to cut your nails so that you won't scratch your client's face accidentally. So I see that some students have very beautiful nails that are pretty long, and this is very dangerous because if you didn't pay attention to it, you might accidentally scratch your client's skin, and if you accidentally scratch their skin, it might be inflammation, and then there will be customer complaint. Remember, we talked about customer complaint. It is also very important. So remember, the products we use, the techniques we use should all be very careful, and we should really pay attention to this whole process. So from here to here, it is basically, if you massage these places, it will help you take away the dark wrinkles, dark circles, and also the swelling. And that is the part for the eyes. If you want, you could also apply some small molecule moisturizers or skincare products here. It could also help you improve the circulation in the ear, in the eyes area. So from here all the way to the temple, this is also a very important acupoint and meridian. Also, the top of your eyebrow, from the eyebrow all the way to the temple, this is another line. There are actually a lot of acupoints on our eyebrow. So over here. So from here to here, there are a lot of acupoints. If you have a lot of stress, if you aren't sleeping very good, and because nowadays most people have a lot of pressure in their work, so you can massage the acupuncture points on the eyebrows. They can help you relieve those stress. After that, talking about the forehead, there are a lot of acupuncture points on the forehead. So when we're massaging the forehead, remember to pull it vertically. So from the top of the head of the brow all the way to the edge of your hair. So here is the bladder meridian, and also there's another one in the middle of your eyebrow, and it goes all the way up to the edge of the hair. On the edge, on the tail of your brow, if you pull it directly up to the edge of the hair, this is our liver meridian. So nowadays, a lot of people like to sleep late and they are sleep deprived, so we need to massage these places to help them improve their condition. And also there is this area that is close to the temple. There's also another meridian here, so here is also very important. We massage it from the lower part to the upper part. So these are the tips for massaging the face. Next, talking about your neck and also the chin. You can also pay attention to your throat. Be sure not to block your throat so you won't get any oxygen. So again, first step is to put on some moisturizers, some toners, some essential oil, and then this will help you improve the skin condition. The techniques are the same from the bottom to the top, kind of massage and pull it up from the bottom. And the biggest muscle here is the one that I'm touching right now. So it goes all the way down to the bones. So again, pull this muscle from the bottom. If you don't have any tools, you can use your fingers. You can use the tiny muscles on your finger to kind of massage it and pull it up. So this is the tips for the bulging on the facial and neck area. The next part is the aromatherapy. The aromatherapy is, I'm sure that everybody knows that when we are blending the base oil, some students ask if we could use coconut oil or if we could use some other kinds of oil. Now, talking about the coconut oil. The coconut oil, according to one of the students, they would like to apply the coconut oil. I would say that basically the coconut oil is used best in different conditions because there are different weathers, different cultures, and different surrounding and environments. So I would suggest that if you are in an area that is hotter, then you can apply the coconut oil at night. Although it has some beauty effects, but if you use coconut oil during the daytime, because it is very hot in the daytime and you will get very sweaty. So if you apply too much coconut oil on your skin, it will actually block our pores and it will have you feel more hot, and then that will actually not have any effects applying it during the daytime. So it really depends on the weather, the temperature, and the environment. So for coconut oil, I suggest to use it individually during the night where there is no sun and the weather is cool. And also don't blend any lotion with the coconut oils because they might not go well together. So I would suggest you to use the coconut oil individually. You can use it to massage the body and also your face. It will have a good effect. And the coconut oil can also be used as the base oil. Adding a bit of essential oil, we can blend them into a massage oil that can be used during the massage. And also the aromatherapy that was mentioned, I would like to add a few points regarding to the essential oils and how to blend them. Whether if it's blending it in a toner or blending it into a serum or blending it into a base oil, the ratio should be 5 mol of base oil and then 1 drop of essential oil. If it's 5 mol of toner or 5 mol of lotion, you only need 1 drop of essential oil, then that would be the 1%. Now we are basically divide it into different parts, and that is if this oil is used for massaging the face, the ratio shouldn't be over 2%. If it's for the body, then you can have a ratio of 3%, and also for partial body parts. And if you're massaging kids or elders, we would like to deduct that percentage down by half, also for pregnant women. And also for people who have some diseases, we need to be very careful when we're using these oils. You might need to consider the doctor. So remember, using the 5 mol of base oil with 1 drop of essential oil, that is 1%. So if you're using 50 mol of base oil and you want to create 1%, then it means 5 mol plus 1 drop is 1%. So 50 mol, you need to have 10 drops of essential oil to create the 1 drop, to create the 1%. So if you want to create to 2%, then for a 50 mol base oil, you want to create a 2% one, you need to times 2, which means you need to drip 20 drops of essential oil. Now you can also use this with the compound essential oil, but if you're applying it on the face, I would suggest using some balanced oils such as rose, such as jasmine. For these are pretty good for girls. It can also help you relax mentally and help you release the stress and balance your whole mind and body together. It will also enhance your hormone. And if you want to relax, you can also use lavender. If you want to purify the air and also maybe enhance your immune system, we could use some tea tree oil, because the tea tree oil is basically the most practical and most common oil that is used recently. Not only does it have the ability to kill the germs, it could also deal with dust mites and also the little molecules in the air, especially when there are a lot of diseases going on recently. So we can use this tea tree oil to purify the air. So the one that I have in my hand is around 50 cc. We can blend them and then we can put them in glass bottles. Try to avoid putting essential oil in plastic bottles because it will create chemical effects with the bottle. So when you're applying any essential oil, choose the ones that are in a glass bottle or in the metal container. Now we can use pure water with the essential oil and blend them together. and using a sprayer, we can spray it around to sanitize the air and purify the air to take away some bad smells or some bad little molecules. So for this one, this is around 200 mole. If we add, so we have 200 moles here. We want to blend it into a 3% of essential oil. How many drops of essential oils should we drop? So first we divide the 200 by 5. So dividing 200 by 5 makes 40. That means we need to drip in 40% of the essential oils. Then what about if today we want to reach 3%? Then that would be 40 times 3, then it is 120 drops. Now, not only can we bring this with us anytime, we could take it out and spray to help us sanitize the air, and it will also help purify the air and also give you a very good fragrance. And so when we smell this, we will feel very comfortable and relaxed. Now, aromatherapy, if we apply it to the body, we can add some other oil, such as grape oil or some other oil, and I see that a lot of students like to use coconut oil. So if you are massaging on the body where the area is very big, you can use a 3% oil and you will have a very good effect on the body. So let me stop here for a second and let's see if Teacher Thiessen would like to add anything. Hello, everyone. And we all know that recently the world is still under the stress of COVID-19. So how can we fight COVID-19 using aromatherapy? And when we are choosing the essential oils, what are the oils we could choose and how do we blend them together to help us purify the air and also help us fight COVID-19 at the same time? Let's ask teacher Kevin to teach us more. Now, thank you, Ms. Hong. Due to the current pandemic, we would like to teach you how to create some essential oils that could help you fight this COVID-19 battle. For example, we could use our dry hand wash to replace the alcohols. You can use some mild lotion or mild toner. We can maybe create a 50 ml toner or maybe lotion. And so for those hand washing products, that is basically used when we don't have any water and we would like to wash our hands. If we have 50 cc or 50 ml of lotion or toner, we can create our own hand sanitizer. So we want to make it into a 3% to 5% tea tree essence oil, and so we can sanitize our hand anytime. Then basically this will be very helpful because we can bring anywhere, and it could also have an antigen product and it could also have a skincare effect. So take 3%, for example, 50 mole divided by 5, then it means you need 10% of the essential oils to reach 1%. Now, if we want 3%, then it means we need to have 30 drops of tea tree oil. So then if we blend them together, we can put it into a bottle and we can bring it anywhere. It could be, it could help us with our skincare. You could apply it on our hands and also on your feet at different parts of the area. And at the same time, it is anti-germs, so it is very helpful during this pandemic. So the first step is to create this kind of antigen lotion that could help fight the pandemic. And so that is the first thing that I would like to mention. And the second is when we talk about the lotions or the toners, we can actually add some lavender oil into them because lavender oil is something that most people just neglect. But lavender not only releases stress, it also has the effect to kill bacteria. And so it is very helpful. It is more mild than the tea tree oil, but it also helps in promoting the immune system in our body. So second, let's talk about how to blend this into the toners or the moisturizers that we bring with us on our daily lives. So again, maybe we take around 50 ml to 100 ml of toner, and let's take 50 ml for example. If we want to make it uh, into these kind of things, because we're applying it on our face is a bit more sensitive. That means we need to have a percentage of less than 2. So in order to create this, I would suggest you to take 50 ml of toner and try to make it into a 2% essence oil, and that would be 50 divided by 5, that is 10 drops. Then if you apply 10 drops, that is the 1%, because we want to make it into 2%, so that means we need to times 2, so then we would need 20 drops. Now, because our skin on the face is more sensitive, so we can use lavender, and lavender can help us enhance our immune system and also calm our nerves and have a calmer emotion. Once you have a calm emotion, then you will have better immune systems. When you are angry, when you are anxious, then actually your immune system is lowering, and that is not good. So now we can apply the lavender oil to help calm your mental status, which will in return raise the immune power of your immune systems, and it will also help calm your mood and relieve the stress so that your immune system can boost. And in addition, because we use lavender and tea tree, so it could also create this little thin layer of protection. So when the germs touch your skin, it could be killed at the same time. So it will help you kill bacteria. So as I mentioned, 50 moles of toner, and remember to use glass rather than plastic. Always use glass bottles and don't use plastic bottles, and also try to avoid using transparent glass bottles, because if you use transparent ones, the sunlight will just affect the oil. So it's best to choose a glass bottle and that is colored. So maybe a glass colored bottle would be the best choice, because it could help avoid direct sunlight hitting the oil. Now, coming back to the 50% of toner that we have just been talking about, because it's used on the face, so we will use lavender oil along with tea tree. And because we can only apply 2% of essence oil on our face, so we need to calculate how many drops do we need. So that is 50 moles divided by 5, then that is 10 drops. 10 drops is the amount for 1%, because we want 2%, so we want 20 drops. Now remember, because we want to make it into 2%, so we need 20 drops, and 20 drops of essence oil will create it into a 2% kind of toner. Now, the other 80% can be used from lavender oil, and that will be around 15 to 16 drops. And in between, we can add some rose oil as well to increase the fragrance. And then we can also add some jasmine oil if you like, because that also helps growth. And so we have 17 drops in total. Then maybe we will have 3 drops of tea tree oil, because the tea tree oil can help us protect ourselves from bacteria. So we can actually customize the toner. So a 50 ml toner, we want to make it into a 2% essence oil. That means we need to apply 20 drops. And among these 20 drops, we divide them into 1 drop of rose, 1 drop of jasmine, 3 drops of tea tree oil, and then the rest are for the lavender oils. Then the toner that you've just made, which is combined with essence oils, I'm pretty sure that this toner is way much better than the ones that are sold on the stores, because it not only can help you enhance your protection on your skin, it could also have a skincare effect, and it will also help calm your nerves and create a relaxing sensation. Next, we can also create a product that could help you massage your body. So we could also use the coconut oil that you guys like. we can also use 100 moles of massage oil. If you want to burn some fat, we can use some orange. So orange can help in taking the fat away. We can also use the grapeseed oil, and also we can use lemon oil. All these oils are pretty good, and I recommend you to use them because lemon oil is pretty good right now, and the cost is very low. And some lemon oils are actually ones that are edible. So once you drink or eat some of these lemon oil, it could help you dissolve the fat in your body. It is pretty safe, but remember those are the edible ones. And if you apply the lemon oil or grapeseed oil on your skin, it also creates a very good effect. When massaging, it will also take away the fat. The third is that when we are applying these massage oils and we want to apply 100 ml, we want to turn it into a 3% essential oil, then we divide the 100 ml by 5, and that would be 20 drops. And because we want to create 3%, that means we need to times 3. So say for example, this is 100 ml, then we need to add 60 drops of essence oil, and then we can blend the essence oils that are needed. Because we want to create a massaging effect and also an effect that is antibacterial, so we can use some grapeseed oil and some lemon oil, and also it can have an effect of antibacterial. So how do we distribute among the 60 drops of essence? 80% we will use lemon oil and grapeseed oil. So for example, 40 drops of lemon oil, because lemon is relatively cheaper and easy to use and very safe. So strongly recommend to use that. So 40 drops of lemon oil with 10 drops of grapeseed oil. And they also has the effect of taking away fat. So that makes 50 drops already. The last 10 drops, I would suggest using some fragrance oil such as lavender or maybe such as some other flowers. So we can use lavender here because it can help us relax and calm our nerves, whether it is in the front of the body or we use it on the back. Lavender is a very good flower that can help calm our nerves. So the last 10 drops we will use lavenders, and altogether we have 60 drops. So to repeat again, 100 moles of slimming massage oil, whether it's 100 ml of grapeseed oil or coconut oil, as long as the base oil. And then if we want to turn it into a 3% essence oil, then we need 60 drops. Among those 60 drops, we basically want a slimmering effect. So we will apply 40 drops of lemon oil and then another 20 drops of grapeseed oil and then 10 drops of lavender or rose to create the fragrance. And I want to stress that when you're applying the lemon oil, or sorry, when you're applying orange oil, then basically apply them at the night. So anything that has to do with orange, try to apply them at night, because these types of oil is very sensitive to light. If you have a drop of this orange oil and light or ultraviolet light shines on it, it will become black and it will become hot, and that might hurt the skin. So as long as you are using these kind of orange oils or skincare products, always remember to use them at night, because that way it is safer and it is better for the skin. And because after the massage, people can just relax, and it is very good for helping them go to sleep and burn some fat at the same time. So always apply these during the nighttime and never during the daytime. So that is my sharing for now. Thank you. Now, Kevin has just mentioned some very useful tips that could be used during this pandemic. Now, from my side, I will add some points on what Kevin said. Now, lavender and tea tree are the two elements that was mentioned very commonly. Now, so I suggest you to prepare some lavender oil and tea tree oil at home, especially tea tree and lavender. So regarding to the tea tree oils, because if you go to the suburb areas, you can bring some pure water, and as teacher Kevin mentioned, blend them all together with a little bit of tea tree oil, and you can take this with you when you're in the wild. And this could also help you repellent against mosquitoes, and also the effect of tea tree on antibacteria. It is also very good. So it can help sanitize your hands, also your legs. And because a lot of people are working from home, usually, like for myself, I will clean the house every week, especially on the floor. So I would add some elements of the tea tree when I'm cleaning the tables and also the floors. So tea tree is a very handy and very practical element. It's not very expensive, and you can get it anywhere. And also when it comes to lavender, lavender really helps to calm your nerves. It will help you sleep better. So as teacher Kevin mentioned, it also has the effect of antibacteria. Of course, that antibacteria is not as good as the tea tree, but it does have some level of antibacteria for the lavender. The main feature of lavender is that it can help you relax and calm your nerves. A very important part is that usually when we accidentally get burned, I will use the tea tree. The tea tree can really help in taking away the swelling. It will help relieve the swell. And of course, when you're burned, the first thing you should do is you should use icy water to be applied upon the burned area. And when you realize that the heat is not that hot, drop a few drops of lavender oil. It will help remedy the burned skin. So we suggest you to prepare lavender oil and also tea tree oil at home, as they are very useful and practical. And also talking about the female hygienes and the female health, rose and also rose oils are very helpful for the girls. There are some taboos and there are also some advantages, and that is if you're applying rose, avoid applying it on pregnant women, and because rose are a bit more expensive, so I would suggest you to use jasmine. Now, I think we mentioned slimming. Slimming, basically, I was advised to add an additional element, and that is ginger, because ginger could help in burning fat and also promote the circulation inside the body. So, as Kevin mentioned, we can use lemon, we can use grapefruit, and we could also add some ginger, maybe 10% of ginger into the mixture and blend it all together. So when you are opening up a business, whether you're helping your family or your customers, we can blend these kind of massage oils for them. So the base oil is very important. And if you can follow the steps and also the ratio that Kevin has just mentioned, then it can actually help you save quite a lot of money. And because you have blended personally, so you can see the effects more quickly and natural. So here are some of the things that I would like to add on. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Hong. Yes, ginger is indeed very good, especially in winter or when a girl's period is coming or before it comes or after it comes, because usually your limbs will be a bit more cold. So you can actually cut some slices of ginger and apply them with some black sugar and apply them. Then it will help you warm your body, and it will also help you during your period. It will help your circulation of blood, and this will help in promoting an overall better health when you have the period or in cold weathers. So thank you, Tishan, for mentioning this. When applying ginger to the massage oils, it could really show some effects because it could help in promoting the qi and the blood circulation, or especially when applying it on the girls' bodies. Because when applying ginger, ginger has a lot of different usage, and the way we mix it and blend it is basically, as teacher Tishan has just mentioned, it could help you burn the fat. It could help you promote the circulation. So maybe just 10 drops will be fine. So if we use the case that was just mentioned, 40 drops of lemon, because it is cheaper, we could use it a lot. So 40 drops of lemon, 10 drops of grapeseed oil, and then maybe 10 drops of ginger. So to kind of help with the blood circulation and to burn fat. Then when you're massaging the customer, it is actually very good effect. And apply it with the techniques of teacher Tishan, you can create an effect of 1 + 1 is greater than 2. Then because it is a customized massage oil that you've made, you can actually control the different ratios. So it is safer than what is sold on the markets, and it is even cheaper, and it has a better quality and better effect. So if you go outside and use and look in the markets for rose oils, it is super expensive, especially if you buy it in a department store. So if you can blend your own essence oil, it is relatively cheaper than the ones that are sold outside. It is relatively safer, it is fresher, and it is basically way much better than the ones that are sold outside, the commercial ones. So you just need to pay attention to the ratios that are in the essential oil. I believe that the ones that you create will be far better than the ones that are sold in the markets. It will be more effective, and so I basically will say that it is very cost effective because it's cheaper and it produces a better quality than the ones that are sold in the market. So if you apply jasmine, jasmine is also very good for women because it helps balance the hormone in the body. And also for pregnant women, you need to be careful. Be careful not to use this on pregnant women because this might have some effect on the infant or the baby inside. So do not apply rose or jasmine on pregnant women. This is something you need to pay attention to when you are massaging your customers. Now, some people might not be aware that they are pregnant in the first 3 weeks. So remember to ask the customer when applying this or before applying this, because sometimes the customers might not know themselves. So you need to double confirm and double check with them before applying rose oil or jasmine oil. So be careful. Always ask the customer before applying this. Ask them how they are recently. Ask them when was their last period to kind of get an idea of if they're pregnant or not, because some customers might not know that they're pregnant. And for orange types of essential oil, as mentioned, don't apply them during daytime, apply them during the night because it is very sensitive to light. So when applying these kind of oil, be careful. I would also like to add something, and that is I've mentioned it is good to have lavender oil and tea tree oil at home because they are very practical and useful. If you want to create some fragrance at home, how many drops should I have to create that kind of fragrance in the house? So regarding to the lavender oil and tea tree oil, because there might be some fragrance products at home. There are some commercial ones where they have steam and light and they can create some fragrance. For those, I would suggest maybe 20 drops would be fine because we want to purify the air, so that takes around 20 drops to 30 drops. The higher, the more drops you drop, the better the pure air purification effect. So maybe for 100 ml, we can have around 30 drops. You can also go with the lavender oil. If you want to have the effect of having a good sleep, then I would suggest using lavender oil. For example, if you have a salon, then I would suggest lavender oil because lavender oil can help you relax. Now, tea tree oil, after smelling it, you might feel a bit more energetic, more pumped up. So if you want to create a mild one, you can always use lavender plus tea tree. Now, if you're applying tea tree oil in your house, you want to create that fragrance, you can drop around 30 drops. Then I'm pretty sure you will have a lot of fragrance and a lot of good smell in your room, and you will also feel very relaxed. Once the customer comes in, they will like it a lot. They will enjoy that atmosphere. And if you want to add a little bit of rose or jasmine, it will also create an even better atmosphere, especially if your customers are women, mostly women. So when they come here, they will fall in love with your shop. So when we are providing our service or when we are providing them some treatments or massages, they will feel more relaxed and they will have an even better impression on your shop. So if you don't have these kind of fragrance products, you can also use some fragrance stones. Fragrance stones are cheaper. It is a rock, but they have a lot of little small holes. We can drop a few drops of essence oil on them, and they can last for a longer time. So if you drop around 40 drops of essential oil, then basically that rock will continue to spread the aroma throughout the day, maybe throughout the week. Now, if you have already bought some fragrance products, you can also use those as well. They all create very good effects. Now, because what we mentioned are basically pure essential oils, so some of these essential oils are that they all have different effects because, for example, tea tree can kill bacteria. What if we don't have anything? What if we only have 2 essential oils? What shall we do? Well, according to what I know, if it is really necessary, then I would suggest 1 drop, maybe 1 to 2 drops. So just to share the knowledge, if you have essence oil, don't apply too much essence oil on your skin. So if you're applying essential oil directly on the skin, 1 drop to 2 drops would be fine. If you're not adding any water, just 1 drop and 2 drops. Don't keep on putting too much drops on your skin because that might damage and hurt your skin. So just a quick reminder. So that was my reminder. If you want to apply essential oil directly on your skin. So if you don't have anything, you just have the essential oils of lavender oil or tea trowel, you can drip 2 to 1 drops of essential oil on your palm. Open your arms like this. So maybe apply 1 drop to 2 drop, and then rub your palms together to heat up the oil, and it will help spread the fragrance. Then once the temperature reaches a certain point, put it up to your nose and inhale. Inhale for 7 seconds and then exhale. So inhale for 7 seconds and exhale for 7 seconds and repeat the process. So again, inhale 7 seconds and then exhale for another 7 seconds and do this process for 3 times. Okay, so apply it for 3 times, then it will also help enhance your immune system. So if you didn't bring anything, you just brought 2 bottles of tea tree oil and lavender oil, it could also help promote the circulation in your body, and it can also help kill some bacteria inside your respiratory system. So it is actually better than the alcohol that are sold out in the market because essential oils are natural. Yeah, so essential oils are natural. As mentioned, tea tree and lavender oil, these two, not only do they kill bacteria and calm your nerves, if you bring these on you, basically looking at this from a pandemic point of view, we can also apply the method that Kevin just taught us. It could actually help improve our lungs and our respiratory system. So the tea tree oil and the lavender oil is actually very practical and very good to use. I would like to add something on. Basically, we mentioned when we are performing the treatments, before any of the treatments, you need to remember two things. The first is your nails. When I was going through your homework and your projects, I see that a lot of you have very long nails. So be sure to have short nails and make sure that they are all very clean. This is essential because this is a personal hygiene. This is basically the first impression that customers have on you. And then when you touch the skin of your clients, remember you need to sanitize your hands before that. So these are the two important things to remember, your nails and also sanitize your hand before touching the customer. Regarding to the question if we could use saffron and to replace ginger, because these two elements are very different, because ginger is more mild. It is basically helping us promote the circulation, but saffron is a bit more intensive, and saffron might be too extensive for the customers. Remember, there are different types. There are seeds, there are flowers, there are stems. So for flowers, they are a bit more intensive because saffrons are more direct and more intense, more strong. So some customers might not be suitable, but for ginger, because it's more mild, it is suitable for the general public. And during winter, it is also very good as it helps promote our blood circulation. It has a very good effect. But saffron has a different property, so um, you need to be careful when applying the saffrons. So for example, if a pregnant woman don't apply saffron, or if you have pregnant but you don't know and you apply saffron, then it will be very strong and not appropriate to be applied on pregnant women. So some people are not suitable for saffron because if you apply this, they might bleed or something, or they might create a very bad effect. So this needs to be applied very carefully. So saffron cannot replace ginger. Ginger would be the better option here. Regarding to the previous classes, since a lot of students ask about the coconut oil, so I would like to add some other effects of coconut oil. Coconut oil can help with the pigments on the face, but basically its extraction process are different for each of the coconut oils. Some are better, some are not that good. So if the molecules are smaller, then basically it can be applied on the skin on the face, but if it has a bigger molecule, then you can better apply those on the body. So the different extraction methods will actually affect how you use those coconut oils. So if it has small molecules, you can use them on the face. It is good for absorption and it can help protect you against ultraviolet light. But again, apply coconut oil at night, because during the daytime oil will further or less clog some of the pores on your face, and because it's likely to sweat during the daytime, so it might not create a very good effect. So we also need to take a look at how that coconut oil is extracted, If it's an edible coconut oil, don't use those on your skin because those are edible oil. Those are not for facial massages. Those edible oils molecules are too big. They will block all your pores, so do not apply those on your skin. So be sure to apply the right product. Some are for massaging, some are for skincare, and some are for eatables. So again, use them at night. If you want to use coconut oil to replace your toner or to replace your lotion or massage oil, again, I suggest you to use it at night. It will have a better effect and it will better absorb. Feel free to ask us any questions. Just leave it in the chat. We will do our best to answer your questions. Maybe it can be a question during the technique. What is the process, some steps, or if you have any other questions, feel free to leave it in the chat. We will try to answer all your questions. So feel free to leave any questions. No need to hold back. If there are no further questions, I would like to add a few knowledges on the acupoints that were mentioned in the classes, and that is the Ren meridian and also the Du meridian. The Ren and Du are the two major meridians on the body. So it starts from the end of the chin all the way down to the lower center of your body and comes all the way back up. So this other one goes from your nose all the way to your top of your head, on your spine, and all the way moving down to the end of your spine. So there are also a lot of acupoints on the face. I will only stress a few. So there's one in the beginning of the eyebrow, also in the middle and in the end. There are 3 acupoints on the eyebrow. There are also a lot of acupoints around the face, and basically they control the eye pressure and also your whole mood and neural system. You can press onto these occupation points and they will help you relieve stress. And also if you have allergy, you can press on the acupoints that are located at the side of your nose. It will help you if you have allergy or if you have a running nose. It will help you with your respiratory system. Also going down, you can also press onto your 10-2 point, which is the one that is right in the middle of your chest. It is also very good for your lung and also for the bones on each of your sides. There are a lot of acupuncture points. Also, there's one called Tanzong Xue. Tanzong is basically the acupuncture point located in the middle of your 2 nipples. So an imaginary line connecting your nipples, and the middle of that line would be Tanzong, and it is very good for your lymph nodes, and it will help you promote your immune system and also your T cells. So you can just kind of massage this area and press on it a bit, rub it a bit, and then it will help promote your respiratory system, enhance your T cells, and also enhance your overall immune system. And on the back, you can go from the top down, you can go to the Dazui acupoint. You can press on to this point in the back. So when we're looking at the Du meridian, we can go from this part all the way to Conghui and then to Qianting, and then going back to the top is Baihui, and then going to the back there's Holding. And then there was another one that we mentioned in class called Fengfu. And then from Fengfu going down to Yamen, and then to Dazui. And then it goes all the way down to the end of the spine. So you can use these different acupuncture points to help you during your massage. You can use some tools to apply it this way from front to back, and also you can use it on your forehead. There's like different acupuncture points on the side of your head as well. This could also help in comforting your neural system. So use these tools that are not sharp to help you comb your hair and comb the skin on your hair, which it will help you massage your acupoints. So these are the things that I would like to add on. And so after Dazhui, if you go down, because Dazhui is located on the Du Meridian, so you can locate it by using 2 fingers. And there's also the bladder meridian. Bladder meridian is basically very good for your bladder. If you massage those places, it can help with the bladder system. Also, there is the Gaohuan acupuncture point, and it is located on your shoulder blades. So it is in the dent of your shoulder blades. It could help you release some stress and pressure, and it can help you relax your shoulders. There's also Beiyu. So there are 2 bladder meridians, and below that, on the fourth spinal area, there's another acupoint called Beishu. Beishu is basically in control of your metabolism, and it will also help in your blood circulation. If you move down from Dazui, you'll go to the end of the spine, because during the 2 sides of the bladder meridians, if you massage those places, it can help you increase your immune system. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. To answer the first question, should the same measure of 1 to 2 drops essential oil for the skin be the same for the hair? Now, basically, it's 2%, not 2 drops, because if you're applying anything on your face, whether it's a toner or a lotion, you must have a base oil, and you need to try to avoid dropping the essential oils directly on the skin because that's too intense. You might cause an allergy. So it's not dropping the essential oil on the skin directly. When you are applying essential oil, you need to have a media, and that is something we call the base oil. It might be a toner, it might be a lotion, it might be a massage oil. So it's not just directly applying the essential oil on the skin. Don't do that. You need to blend the essential oil with the toner or the lotion or the massage oil before applying it on the skin. Now, on the face is 2%, but if it's on your hair, on the skin beneath your hair, then you can use 3%. So for the skin under the hair, you can use 3%. For the facial area, it is 2%. Now remember to blend it with the base oil. Do not apply the essential oil directly to the hair or to the skin below the hair. Now, if you want to have some stress release, you can use lavender. And if you want to prevent hair loss, you can also use another one. You can use another kind of essence. You can use rosemary to help in preventing hair loss. So lavender is basically for relaxation. It is used when in spas. It is used when massaging your acupuncture points in the shoulder blade and to help you release the stress. Now, if you want to help prevent hair loss or help increase your amount of hair or have more hair, then we could apply rosemary. Rosemary can help us prevent hair loss, and it could also help in promoting hair growth, especially when growths are under high pressure. They might lose some hairs. In this case, we can use rosemary. So we can use rosemary for the part applying to the skin under the hair, and that is the answer for the first question. And the second is that can humidifiers add essential oil? I would recommend not to do that because a fragrance spreading product is different from a humidifier because the design and mechanism is different. And it is very likely that the essential oil might clog that machine of the humidifier. So when we are using these kind of fragrance products, it is better to use these fragrance bottle because those products are designed specifically for the essential oil, but the humidifier is basically there to help us humidify the air. So the whole process of the machines are different. So if you don't have any fragrance spreading or fragrance products, you can use the fragrance stone, which is just basically a stone with bigger holes on it, and it could also help spread the fragrance. So those are the answers to the questions. Thank you. Okay, now let's take a 10 minutes break and we'll come back later. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the chat during this 10 minutes and we'll come back later in 10 minutes. Thank you. Regarding to the question on psoriasis, how to apply essential oil on psoriasis. The second question is referring to the seborrheic thermophytics. And the third is regarding to diabetes and how to take care of this part. Regarding to the first question, which is on psoriasis, it really depends on the severity level of the disease. Is it already healing or is it deteriorating? And this depends on what the doctor says. Is the client taking any medicines? So talking to the customer before applying any massage is very important. So that's why we need to have the gender, the occupation, what is she allergic to, does she have any known diseases or sickness. So these are all the things that are very essential before applying the massage. Now regarding to this particular psoriasis, because there are many different types and levels of this disease, if it's a so you need to find the root cause of the client's psoriasis first. Is it occurring repeatedly or is it the first time this occurs? So because this is more like a disease, we can only relieve it, but we won't be able to cure it. So from the essential oils perspective, we can only relieve it. Sometimes this may be a mental illness that caused a physical illness. So for these kind of diseases, we need to look at it from a medical perspective. What we can do is we can assist them in uh, relieving this stress and help with your personal hygiene, and that is to provide moisturizing for its for the skin in this area, because the skin will keep on peeling off. So regarding to the essential oil, I will recommend to use some plant essential oil to help soothe the skin. So I would suggest some grapeseed oil now, because you can't really massage too much on the psoriasis. So I would suggest that we focus on relieving this symptom for them from a mental perspective. And that is, we can lower their negative emotions. We could help provide some lavender oil to help them relax mentally, and then suggest them to maybe apply some lavender oil with some fragrance stone to help balance and relieve on their mental status. Once that part is done, it will help them promote their immune system. Can you hear me? Yep. Okay. Now, regarding to this question on psoriasis, I would like to add something, and that is, this is actually a type of skin disease. So we will suggest the client to go to a doctor first and see how the doctor provides treatment, because for these kind of skin diseases, from the mental status, usually if it's an internal problem, maybe it's a liver's problem, maybe it's a stomach's problem. So maybe you can try to understand their daily routine and try to understand their mental status. So most of the skin diseases are related to the emotions. So they might be very anxious, they might be very exciting, and sometimes they might feel that they are depressed, or they are kind of locked in, so they have a lot of pressure building within them. So we will advise to apply some essential oil that could help them relax. So they can maybe inhale some of these essential oils fragrance or aroma. It's better not to apply the essential oils directly onto this part of the skin, because that is the area for the doctor. What we can do is we can assist this patient in helping them relieve their mental status. So we help them in their mental status, then the doctor helps them with their physical condition on the skin. So that was mentioned, the skin diseases. Basically, it's the root cause might be for the liver or the stomachs. Now, what might be the root cause? The root cause might be that they are building up emotion inside them and they are not willing to release the pressure. And with all that pressure built in, they are very easily getting angry, and that might affect their stomach or other organs, and that might result in these kind of skin diseases. So we would suggest to use these fragrance essential oils to help relieve the mental status. And as mentioned, the psoriasis maybe have a lot to do with the internal organs. Now we can only assist from the essential oils point of view because it is a skin disease. So eventually it is actually the area of the doctor to provide medicines. For us, we can only help them relieve on the mental status to make them feel comfortable. Now, if the skin disease is caused by their stomach or digesting system, then we can also add some other things to help them overcome this. So we basically just assist them. We don't really apply directly onto it. So maybe we can soothe their emotions so that they can rest and their neurons are not that active. So we can use lavender. It is a very good element that can help you calm down. It will lower the negative emotions and energies and help you balance your mood. And once that is balanced, you will be able to increase your immune system and you won't feel that much anxious. Regarding to the livers, I will suggest you have a very very fixed and regular daily routine. Drink less alcohol, drink less caffeine, and also pay attention to the things that you're eating. Sleep before 11 p.m. Maybe have a very regular routine because from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. it is the time for our liver to detoxify. So we would suggest our patients or customers to sleep before 11 p.m. So we would suggest to address this issue from a mental perspective. Now, regarding to the second question. The second question was on the seborrheic dermatitis. It is basically has a lot to do with the hygiene on the skin on the head. And how do we clean the skin? It's basically has a lot to do with the shampoo you choose. So don't choose a shampoo that's too intense. Now, because the skin on your head also will generate some oil, the oil are there to actually provide a protection layer. So don't over clean it. The second is the hygiene. Now, for example, your pillow, maybe you should have a towel on your pillow and change that towel daily, because if you have this kind of diseases, then it will have a lot of oil coming out. So we need to improve this condition from a personal hygiene point of view. So maybe a towel on the pillow that is changed periodically, because for these kind of seborrheic dermatitis, these are basically where skins kind of come off with some oil because there's oil on the skin. And so you can change the towels on the pillows every day. And of course, for the cleansing of your skin of your hair, you can use some antibacterial shampoos or some antibacterial essential oils, such as the tea tree oils that we have mentioned. And it has antibacterial effects, and it will also help soothe your skin. So it also has the ability to be anti-allergy. So if anything, if any of your pores are clogged, it could also help dredge them. So it could help prevent further inflammation. And regarding to the hygiene and cleaning part, it needs to be natural, it needs to be mild. It shouldn't be very intensive. Don't buy those that are made from a lot of chemical ingredients. Use those natural ones. So we can also use the tea tree oil to help massage and help clean the skin on the head. So keep it dry, keep it clean, so that to try to help lower the situation on this disease. And of course, the most important thing is that you need to ask your client to go to the doctors, because that is the root cure. And basically, the essence here are for assisting them not deteriorate the situation. Now, of course, the most important thing is do not sleep late at night, because once you sleep late at night, your balance inside your body will kind of get unbalanced, and your whole hygiene and your whole metabolism system will kind of be knocked off balance, and that will affect your health. So from the diet side, don't eat anything that's too spicy, too greasy, too milky. So these are things you need to avoid, and also caffeine, because if you already have inflammation, we want to try to avoid stimulating it. Now, for and also your emotions. Not only do you want to have a light diet, you also have enough sleep, and you also want to apply some essential oils that make you relax. And as teacher mentioned, the digesting system is also very important. We can use some orange essence oils to help relieve the stress, and also lemon essence. Lemon oil can also help in the detoxification of the liver. Now, the function of liver is basically the detoxification factory of the human body. If you are too tired, then your liver will not be able to function properly. The problem that people have nowadays are, first of all, something wrong with the liver, and that is they lack of sleep. They are too nervous, and they sleep too late. So this will all affect your health from a very micro perspective, but then it will show on the skin. So besides using the orange essential oil, we can also add some other things, such as the um, probiotics for your digesting system. So you can also eat some probiotics that will help with the digesting system. And once you have taken care of these parts, basically you should have a better immune system, and thus the disease should not be able to pop up so often. And this is the answer regarding to the second question. Regarding to the two diseases that were mentioned previously, the conclusion here is that because these diseases are all linked to the mental status and mental state, so we suggest that when you are giving suggestions to customers, the first is that they must have enough sleep early before 11 p.m., and also drink abundant water, because basically we divide water into three parts. Uh, one is working in the office. So for example, if you are working in the office, then the amount that you take a day should be around 1 liter to 1.2 liter. Now, if you're working in an environment, in the AC environment, but you will do some labors, then I would suggest to have the water of around 1.6 liter. If you're working under the sun outside, your labor outside, most of your work requires you to work a lot, then I would suggest you to have maybe 2.1 liter of water per day. So these are two very important points: enough sleep, enough water. If you have achieved these 2 points, then basically your metabolism should be okay. And basically, regarding to the stomach and digesting system that were mentioned, that has a lot to do with your emotions. So if someone is very easily angry, then you'll realize that their stomachs are basically not good. If you sleep late, it is usually linked with your liver. Now, there are a lot of different sickness if you sleep late. It might be because you have too much stress built up between, so you might not have a quality sleep. You might sleep very shallowly, and some people will take some pills to help them fall asleep. If you could use the aromatherapy to help put people to sleep rather than taking those pills, it would be a lot more healthier. And the emotions could also be calmer, and that would really help the clients. And then in the end, they will have a better stomach and digesting system. So the digesting system in your stomach are actually a huge reason why people get sick. So I would suggest you to approach this from an emotion and mental status approach. So aromatherapy is actually a very good way to improve this. There was also diabetes that was mentioned uh, in the previous questions, and of course diabetes is still a sickness, so of course you need to take some medicine. But because if you have diabetes, your skin will be a bit dry, and sometimes you might have some thick skin. So regarding to this part, I would like to ask Kevin to give you some advice, what kind of essential oil we can use. So regarding to diabetes or patients who have diabetes, because it is one of those chronic diseases, so um, medically speaking, you can't really cure it fully. So the suggestion would be to help them relieve the situation. From a medical perspective, it is a chronic disease. You can't really cure it. You can only help improve your improvement or relieve the situation. And also you need to check the skin condition of that client. Now, if diabetes patients, they have a scratch or they have any wounds on their skin, their recovering capability is very bad. So if you don't deal with it very correctly, then it might have some inflammation and that won't be good. So we need to understand the client's skin condition first. If there are any wounds, be sure to help them with the wounds, to sanitize it and help them patch it up, because for diabetes patients, their recovery ability is not that good. So what we try to do is we try to help them improve their immune system to help them fight off the viruses and bacteria coming from the outside. So from a mental status or from a physical way, there are body figures of the ones that are a bit more chubby, the ones that are a bit more slim. Now, if it's a chubby diabetes patient, then basically maybe they don't have a lot of exercises going on. Then we need to avoid having foods that are too sweet, too salty, or too greasy. And also, we would advise them to sleep early, and because their metabolism isn't that good, so their whole body's balance is knocked off. So what we can do is we try to assist them in restoring that balance, but we won't be able to cure their disease. So try avoid using some essential oils that are not very stimulus, that are not that strong. Now, myself, I have a client who has diabetes, and basically we focus on the antibacterial part of dealing with her wounds and dealing with her skin. So everything needs to be clean. And if there are wounds, then you need to consult the doctor, because that's also the responsibility of the medicine part. Now, in regards to the essential oil, we need to apply the ones that are antibacterial and try to apply a more mild kind of massage oil that maybe has some capability of antibacterial. We can also use some mild lotions, such as maybe lavender lotions, because lavender can help calm the patients. Try to avoid using the essential oils that are too strong or too intense, because lavender is very mild and it can help calm the client. So we can use lavender, and we can use some mild lavender massage oil on the sides of her wounds and try not to have that wound deteriorate. So again, if we are massaging a client who has diabetes, we need to be very soft and very gentle. We don't want to create any clogs in her circular system. We don't want to press on her too hard, because if you press on her too hard, then it will hurt them internally, and that will be really bad because they have very bad recovery systems. So when you're applying the massage oils, remember to choose the ones that are more mild. So be careful. We want to choose the safest, the most natural essential oil to be applied to these kind of clients. So another important thing is that if there is a wound, then the most important thing we need to do is we need to sanitize that wound and keep that wound clean so that it won't have any infections. And then on the diet side, as teacher Hong just mentioned, you need to have enough sleep, you need to have enough exercise, enough water. Uh, Clients with diabetes, they really need to exercise to increase their metabolism and increase their whole circulation. Because if you just eat medicine, then basically it's just there to control your status. Eventually, you will still need to have some exercise and change yourself into a healthier diet, healthier routine. Now, for diabetes patients, they can actually promote their own body's balance and system if they have enough sleep, enough exercise, and a healthy diet. So eventually, it's still about the immune system of that client. Taking pills or taking medicine is basically a short-term solution, but eventually, it is still this whole way of living a more healthier way, healthier diet. Would you like to add anything, Dr. Hong? Okay, let me add some sharings and experience that we have on diabetes patients. Now, because some diabetes patients they're a bit more chubby and they don't really exercise, then in this case we can apply some massage techniques and add some ginger in the massage oil to help them with their circulation in the body, because a lot of these diabetes clients are their diabetes come from their daily lifestyle or their bad habits. So when they come to the clinic or come to the beauty salon, we can help them increase their blood and circulation and use some ginger, use some mild essential oils such as grapeseed oil. And the one that I recommend is grapeseed oil because it is very easily to observe. The molecules are small and it is very fragrant, and also it is antioxidant. So basically, if you're sick or not, it is very good to be used as a base oil. Now, when we're blending these essential oils, how should we do it, and what should the percentage be? So the percentage should be 3%. Don't use too much essential oils. We want to be safe and secure, so 3% would be enough. 3% was the base oil, and so for example, it might be for the base oil, if we use 100 ml of grapeseed oil and we want to make a 3% kind of massage oil, how many drops do we need? So if we need 3%, we need to have 60 drops of essential oil. Then for example, in this case, we can add some elements that help with taking away fat, and that helps with the blood circulation, that helps with the metabolism, that helps with the detoxification. So, for example, we can use more mild ones to reach an effect of relaxation. So, lavender. And if we want to increase their fat burning, we could use lemon. Lemon is very safe. Some patients cannot apply grapeseed, so lemon in this case is a bit more safe to use. And next, we can also increase their microcirculation in their body. In this case, we can add a bit of ginger. Actually, ginger is pretty mild, so try not to use saffron, because saffron is basically not allowed to be used on some patients with specific diseases. So it is more intense. So we want to try to use the mild one like ginger to help them increase their circulation and the whole status of their body. It will also help in this whole status. So we will add lemon, add ginger, add lavender, and then when we are applying this to the patients, we need to be careful not to apply too much pressure because their recovery capability is not that good. So we need to use a very gentle and soft technique or massage way to help massage them. So what was taught by Tishan, the techniques of a massage would be really useful in this case. Now, for the clients from their mental perspective, if they want some relaxation, this would also help them relax. Now, from the mind and the body, basically lavender can help relax the muscle and also the emotions. And this will help improve the immune system, which will in return help the whole disease. So as mentioned, we can use 60 drops, or maybe we can use 40 drops of lavender as the base oil. Then we can use 10 drops of lemon and 10 drops of ginger. These are all mild and effective ways to improve when doing massages on the diabetes patients. So remember, be gentle, be soft, and try not to hurt the customer. So these are the things that I would like to add on. Thank you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the chat. If there are no further questions, thank you for attending this course. The next time would be the closing ceremony for this course. Here I would like to mention some conclusions and some tips for you, and that is when you are turning in your homeworks, please practice more and be familiar with the whole process. The steps should be correct. The sequence is also very important, and try to memorize them in your mind, because as teacher Kevin mentioned, if you're looking at the notes and applying them at the same time, then from the customer's perspective, customer will think that you're not that professional and they won't feel very comfortable. Because for massaging, I think I remember the most important thing is that your technique needs to be very smooth. It needs to be very intimate. So another common mistake is that whether it's on the face or the body, because we are using a lymphatic massage and lympha are very fragile, so don't press too hard on the lymphatic nodes. So remember to be gentle and soft, especially on the face. Whether it's exfoliation or makeup removal or facial massage, all these things and techniques should be very soft. We want to avoid this, because if the force is too strong, you will have too much friction and that will hurt the skin, especially during the areas around the eyes, because there are a lot of neurons around the eyes, so that would damage the eye. The second is that if you press too hard, you will actually create wrinkles on the face. The third part is that when we are applying facial massage, you need to memorize it is from bottom to the top, from the inner side to the outer side. It is always a 45 degrees angle when massaging. Everything should be gentle. You should be pulling the skin a bit gently. So these are the 3 key points that I would like to remind all of you again. And when you're turning in your homework, we hope that you can learn a lot from our courses and lessons. And I hope that this course is very beneficial to you on your journey of entrepreneurship and starting up your own business. So the key elements here are basically just to memorize all the things that we've taught and be familiar with the techniques and present them in the homework, and so that we know all of you can really start your own business. We all know that you are very hardworking and you try so hard. So we are very satisfied and we are very thankful. So I look forward to our next homework, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Okay, thank you to both of the teachers, and here are some reminders to the students. As the teachers have mentioned, there will be a closing ceremony on August 11th, and there is a homework as mentioned. Please upload the video before August 8th to Moodle, and also we will create a certification of the course, so please remember to send me the pictures through Telegram or through email to provide me your personal pictures. And also some quick reminder, when you are shooting your homework video, there should be 5 minutes to describe why you choose this, and then the whole process later following on is 10 minutes. So in total, it is 15 minutes. Now, this is basically the end for this course, but we will have a project presentation 3 months after for the whole Latin American area. So we encourage you to use the techniques and the tools that was taught in this course to use this with your startup and also your business. If you would like to share your experience, we can also invite you back to share your sharings, and also there will be some incentives and some prizes if you will share your startup business experience. And these are the announcements. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me directly through Telegram. Okay, thank you very much.